Did you know that the month-long celebration of women's history began as a single week in one small town? Today, you'll learn its fascinating story and improve your English at the same time. Hello and welcome. This is an English story for intermediate learners. We will use slow and clear English. Today, we'll explore the impactful history of Women's History Month and its inspiring theme for 2026. You will learn important vocabulary and history. First, you will hear the full story in English. Then, we will review the story with English and Spanish text together. After that, we'll study key vocabulary and a useful expression. Finally, we'll finish with some questions to check your understanding. Let's begin. The story of Women's History Month starts not in the capital, but in a community. In 1978, in Sonoma County, California, a local group noticed something important. The history taught in schools was mostly about men. They decided to change this. They organized a Women's History Week celebration, timing it to include International Women's Day on March 8. This grassroots movement was a huge success, with community parades, school presentations, and special events. The idea was simple but powerful: celebrate the contributions of women. The idea from that small California town quickly spread. Other communities and schools across the country started their own Women's History Week celebrations. Seeing this growing national interest, women's history organizations lobbied for official recognition. Their hard work paid off. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation, declaring the week of March 8 as National Women's History Week. He urged all Americans to recognize the often overlooked achievements of women. But a week was not enough to contain all the stories. The movement continued to grow. By 1986, 14 states had already declared March as Women's History Month. Finally, in 1987, after more lobbying from dedicated historians and women's groups, the U.S. Congress passed a law. This law officially designated the entire month of March as Women's History Month. This was a major victory, ensuring that the stories of women would have a permanent and prominent place in the nation's calendar. But why March? As we mentioned, the original week was built around International Women's Day on March 8. This day has its own deep history, rooted in the early 20th century labor movements and the fight for women's suffrage, the right to vote. Women textile workers in New York City marched for better pay and working conditions. Suffragettes around the world demanded political equality. Choosing March connected the new American celebration to a global, long-standing fight for women's rights, honoring a legacy of courage and activism. Each year, the month has a theme. Looking ahead, the theme for 2026 is Women Forging the Future, Innovation and Progress. This theme will celebrate women who are pioneers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, as well as entrepreneurs and leaders who are creating new paths. It recognizes that women are not just part of history, they are actively building the future. The theme encourages us to look at the innovators who are solving today's biggest problems and shaping the world of tomorrow. So, how can we participate in a meaningful way? First, educate yourself and others. Read books or watch documentaries about influential women. Second, support women-owned businesses in your community. Third, amplify women's voices. Share articles, art, or music created by women on social media. Fourth, donate to organizations that support women and girls. And fifth, celebrate the women in your own life. Acknowledge their strengths and contributions. These actions help carry the spirit of the month forward. In conclusion, Women's History Month is more than just a date on the calendar. It is a legacy of a grassroots movement that fought for recognition. It reminds us to see and celebrate the full, diverse story of our past. And with themes like Women Forging the Future, it inspires us to support the women who are building a better tomorrow. The goal is to carry this legacy forward, not just in March, but all year long. Great job! Now, let's review the story with English and Spanish text on the screen. Listen to the English again and read along. The story of Women's History Month starts not in the capital, but in a community. La historia del mes de la historia de la mujer no comienza en la capital, sino en una comunidad. The idea from that small California town quickly spread. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation. La idea de ese pequeño pueblo de California se extendió rápidamente. En 1980, el presidente Jimmy Carter emitió la primera proclamación presidencial. Finally, in 1987, the U.S. Congress passed a law officially designating the entire month of March as Women's History Month. Finalmente, en 1987, el Congreso de Estados Unidos aprobó una ley designando oficialmente todo el mes de marzo como el mes de la historia de la mujer. Choosing March connected the celebration to a global fight for women's rights, honoring a legacy of courage and activism. Elegir marzo conectó la celebración con una lucha global por los derechos de las mujeres, honrando un legado de valentía y activismo. The theme for 2026 is Women Forging the Future, Innovation and Progress. They are actively building the future. El tema para 2026 es Mujeres forjando el futuro, innovación y progreso. Ellas están construyendo activamente el futuro. Excellent. Now, let's learn some key vocabulary from the story. First, grassroots. A grassroots movement is one that starts from ordinary people in a community, not from leaders or the government. For example, the environmental campaign was a grassroots effort started by local students. Next, proclamation. This is a formal, official public announcement. For example, the president issued a proclamation declaring a national holiday. Next, to forge. This verb means to create something strong and successful, often with great effort. For example, they managed to forge a new agreement despite their differences. In the theme, it means creating the future. And finally, to amplify. This means to increase the volume or importance of something. In our story, it means making women's voices heard by more people. For example, we use social media to amplify important messages. Now for our useful expression of the day. The expression is, paid off. Their hard work paid off. This phrase means that the effort someone put into something resulted in success. It's like an investment of time or work that gives a good return. Another example, I studied every day, and it paid off when I passed the exam. Alright, it's time for a few questions to check your understanding. I will ask a question, pause for a few seconds, and then give the answer. Question 1. Where and when did the first Women's History Week celebration take place? The first celebration took place in Sonoma County, California, in 1978. Question 2. What is the official theme for Women's History Month in 2026? The theme for 2026 is Women Forging the Future, Innovation and Progress. Question 3. Why was March chosen as the month for this celebration? March was chosen to align with International Women's Day, which is on March 8, connecting it to a global history of women's activism. Question 1. Where and when did the first Women's History Week take place? Pregunta 1. ¿Dónde y cuándo tuvo lugar la primera Semana de la Historia de la Mujer? Answer 1. It took place in Sonoma County, California, in 1978. Respuesta 1. Tuvo lugar en el condado de Sonoma, California, en 1978. You did an amazing job today. Learning about history is a powerful way to improve your English. If you found this story helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more English stories. And here is a question for you. Who is an inspiring woman from your country's history? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.